Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the channel. Thursday, October 20th, 2022, back from Vegas. If you missed the video, I'll put it down below for you to check out some of what went on in Vegas and what really goes on behind the scenes at a reseller conference and networking event out there in Sin City. With that said, a couple stories I want to get caught up on. One of them today, a bunch of you messaged me while I was in Vegas. This story broke from Vegas. PayPal started a policy of fining up to $2,500, users up to $2,500 for the spread of disinformation, aka if they found out you were on the internet or social media spreading what they determined was disinformation, you could be fined up to $2,500. And the backlash was, of course, swift and instant. People were like, are you kidding me? I don't get political on this channel, but obviously what one person thinks is disinformation is not what another person thinks is disinformation, and so on and so forth. It's already been proven that a ton of times things were deemed disinformation that turned out to be completely true, and vice versa. So for a platform to say they were going to arbitrarily determine disinformation and fine you for what they decided was or wasn't true is absolutely insanity. Within hours, literally hours, PayPal backtracked on this and they took back the fine, but they made their statement. And just because they said they're not going to do it doesn't mean they're not going to do it. At the first report of somebody getting a fine for disinformation or for any reason, PayPal is in a huge amount of trouble. Now, PayPal is not a bank like a Bank of America or a SunTrust or a Truist in that literal sense of regulated by the U.S. government. PayPal is kind of an outlier. They've always been that way, which has always been a concern for people. It's how they were able to freeze accounts, take money, do things they wanted to do without really any control by us or by anybody else. So full disclosure, I use PayPal all year long. I run 6 figures through PayPal. I love PayPal. It's worked for a decade plus for me. And this was a shocking announcement. It was something that really opened my eyes. And I'm glad that they backtracked. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll continue to use PayPal. I'll continue to talk good about them. But this was just something that was in the news and something that I thought was worthy of you guys knowing about, because I know many of you do use PayPal for PayPal invoices. You sell through Instagram, etc. So just something to keep an eye on and be aware of. They did backtrack it, so we'll have to, kind of keep an eye on what they do or don't do. Let me just take you over and show you the initial story that broke, and then you can leave it down in the comment section below what you think about PayPal's announcement and their backtrack and the whole shenanigans, I guess. It's pretty crazy to think about a company saying they're going to fine people for disinformation, but that's what they did. And thank God they took it back, and hopefully they stick to that. Let's go check out the story. Let's thank the sponsor of today's video, My Reseller Genie, Paul and Faith. They have the best accounting and inventory control software that helps you track your sales, profits, expenses, and even your estimated tax bill, along with tracking your inventory, all from one place. And you can access it anywhere you have an internet connection. They have 2 great plans available, and make sure you check them out in the link in the description below and use the code to save 15%, Rockstarflipper 15. All right, so this was the story that Fortune actually broke on the PayPal story from the tech side of it, and Christian Hetzner. PayPal told its users it's going to fine them $2,500 for misinformation that backtracks immediately. Critics called for users to delete PayPal accounts, which a lot of people did. It was crazy. The company apologized for the confusion and claims the new policy that was set to go in effect on November 3rd was all an innocent mistake. That's not an innocent mistake. I'm just going to go out there and say that's ridiculous. So the CEO of PayPal is Dan Schulman. There he is right there. I highly, highly, highly doubt that was an innocent mistake. Fortune makes fun of it by saying the next time you are clicking through one of those impossibly long, impenetrable legal disclaimers, it may be time to have a closer look. A new policy in PayPal's fine print triggered a storm of outrage over apparent plans to impose, starting on November 3rd, a hefty fine of $2,500 anytime one of its 429 million customers and merchants expressed what the corporate brass deems to be misinformation. Now, where are you going to spread misinformation on PayPal? You can't do it on PayPal because that's just for sending money and receiving money and transactions. That means you're spreading misinformation on social media or your websites or blogs or whatever, which means they're investigating those things. PayPal quickly apologized over the weekend for what it called confusion, claiming it was all just an error, but not before a deluge of criticism from a number of high-profile individuals, including its own former president, David Marcus. Marcus took to Twitter to say the new acceptable use policy was an insanity that forced him to come forward and criticize his previous employer, where he worked for 3 years. PayPal's new AUP goes against everything I believe in. A private company now gets to decide to take your money if you say something they disagree with. Yeah, that's completely insane. And Elon Musk, who of course made a ton of money invested in PayPal, said he agreed. Free speech advocates like Elon Musk, one of the entrepreneurs behind the founding of PayPal, which we all know was prominent conservative voices such as actor Kevin Sorbo, blasted the plan. The controversy comes as tensions run high over misinformation claims heading into next month's important midterm elections in the United States. Delete PayPal ended up becoming a trending hashtag. PayPal is not fining people for misinformation, and this language was never intended to be inserted in our policy, the spokesperson later told media outlets over the weekend. We're sorry for the confusion this has caused. Critics, however, didn't appear to buy PayPal's claims that it was just an innocent error that was promptly updated with correct information. I agree. Kevin Sorbo, who's very conservative, said PayPal isn't sorry. They're just mad they got caught. Exactly. They absolutely intended to do this. Just mad they got caught. Dan Held, who is the former head of growth marketing for crypto exchange Kraken and a Bitcoin fan, argued users should delete accounts with payment service providers. Of course, he's a crypto guy. Many crypto fans like Held, often libertarians who oppose government intervention in much of society, believe the government and its corporate supporters are steadily chipping away at basic human rights and have been high alert since the Treasury Department imposed sanctions on Tornado Cash, which is a service that conceals blockchain transactions and other crypto. When you scroll down here, the intense blowback will not likely be helpful for PayPal shares, which have thus far been a poor investment in 2022. PayPal, or payment service giant Visa, declined by 15%. PayPal has been declined by half, 50%. eBay, its former parent company, has fared better, having only fallen some 43%. Shares in PayPal were expected to open 1.5% lower on Monday, which they did. That was a few days ago. Tim Kennedy even calling for you to close your PayPal account. Everyone just blasting PayPal. So what do you think about that? Do you think it was an innocent mistake, or do you think PayPal was actually trying to do this and they just are mad they got caught? I'm going to go with the latter. Thank God they backtracked it, but does that mean they're actually going to backtrack, or they're going to be tracking what you say on social media and blogs and websites? We'll have to wait and see, but I hope, I pray to God not. With that said, I do have other options. I have Stripe. I have other payment processors that I can use if I need. Venmo, Cash App, all options. Zelle. There's other options outside of PayPal because PayPal does own one of those. So there you go. $2,500 fine for misinformation from PayPal. All a bunch of BS, and hopefully it never happens. But leave your comments below, your questions, anything you have to say on the topic. I would love to hear it. Love to see what you guys think if they just are mad they got caught. And of course, as always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day.